First down, Volunteers. Very loud in here. T. Martin with the audible. Oh, that one's almost picked off. Dangerous pass. And Brown almost had it. Now let's take a look at Morgan Stanley Dean Winter first half statistics.
Well, there's not much difference in this game. Now, Nebraska jumps up there with almost 100 yards passing, which is a little bit surprising for them, but the total yardage about the same. Turnovers, not that big a deal because there weren't any points scored off of them, and the third down conversion. So statistically, what that tells you is we have a close game, probably closer than the 17-7 score that it is right now.
Second down and 10. Martin, same play. Caught inside the 10 by Parker. They'll mark it at the 7.
They have found what they like. And even though they're going against Ralph Brown, they want to run this little glance route, this little skinny post. So basically they get man-to-man coverage, bring him under, and throw it hard.
Eric Parker has made at least one reception in every game this year. First and goal, Tennessee. Parker in motion. Trying the running game with Henry. And Travis Henry to the 4-yard line. Travis Henry started the last 2 games for the injured Jamal Lewis. He went over 100 yards in both. He had that terrible hit and the injury, which was very scary in the last game against Vanderbilt.
The blocking on the interior much better that time, but it was a great job of tackling by Ortiz, number 37, another sprinter linebacker who was a heck of a player, and he grabbed on and held on over to win a touchdown.
That was the first run after 11 straight passes. Here's the second run, and it's a touchdown. Travis Henry. And the Volunteers come out to start the second half with a lot of fire.
This is the old counter gap play. Look at the left guard pulling. Knocks out the defensive end. And it could not start better for Tennessee. Just as the first half couldn't have started better for Nebraska, this half starts perfectly for Tennessee as they take advantage of the turnover.
Alex Walls adds the extra point. It's a 3-point game.
From the eyes of Travis Henry. Your eyes get big when you see a hole like that, especially when the team you're playing against is Nebraska. This guy is a power runner. He gets by with his low center of gravity being the best thing about him, and Nebraska tacklers can attest to that now. You know, he is a guy the last few games who's rattled off 132, 79, 179, and 153 yards. That's pretty impressive. They play some defense down in the SEC.
He suffered that bruised spinal cord and mild concussion in the Vanderbilt game December 16th. But he's healthy, he's fit, and he's a bull. We've got a ball game.
Yeah, I think now the onus goes back on Nebraska. Yeah, they still have the lead, but the momentum clearly with the guys in the white and the orange.
4 plays, 25 yards for the score. And they'll try to keep it away from Bobby Newcomb. Kick it to the corner. And they'll bring it out to the 20. Well, again, a reminder, Tuesday night on ABC, it's the national championship game. The Seminoles look to give Coach Bobby Bowden his first undefeated season and second national title. But can Michael Vick and Cinderella Virginia Tech upset the Noles for the first national title ever in Blacksburg? Number 1, Florida State battles number 2, Virginia Tech. The Nokia Sugar Bowl, Tuesday night. And don't forget, they'll be playing for the Sears Trophy, emblematic of the best that college football has to offer. There it is, down on the sideline tonight. Have to keep an eye on that. Dean Blevins will try to get it out of here. Nebraska goes deep to Davis and incomplete. Overthrown.
All possessions are big. I guess this is the biggest possession of the game so far. A little talking going on there with Davison and Lott. But this is the biggest because it's now, but it's also big because Nebraska needs to reestablish itself. Now you put yourself behind the chains. You're 2nd and 10 after going for the home run ball there on the first down.
Tennessee showing man coverage on 2nd and 10. They run the option. The pitch outside. And Alexander is tagged after a 4-yard pickup. And you could hear that up here. Let's go downstairs to Leslie.
Good news on John Henderson. He just suffered a neck stinger. He's expected to be back. And also good news with Darwin Walker. He's already been back in the game. He had that sprained MCL in the first half. They put a brace on him and taped it up. He tried it out on the sidelines. He was good to go. Tim?
All right, Leslie. Looks like T. Martin has a headache. They're working on him on the bench.
Hey, everybody's going to have a headache. If you don't have a headache in this game, the coaches tell you you're not doing your part. But the I-backs and the tailbacks, that's exactly what these coaches told them. Get your head in there and knock it around a little bit.
3rd down and 5. Play action. Pressure on Crouch. And he throws the completion to his big tight end. That'll be a first down. They will move the chains. Very nice catch made by the freshman Aaron Galladay.
Well, that's a nice job by Eric Crouch of buying time. He was very, very poised on this play. I don't know if you'd have seen him do this last year. Watch him buy some time as he goes backside, a little bootleg here. He feels the pressure from Ellis, finds his receiver, and the freshman makes the grab on a perfectly thrown ball. Great job by Crouch.
Galladay is a low 6'4", 270-pound tight end. Big, strong guy. First down again, play action. Crouch is hit from behind and hit hard by Sean Ellis. Ellis followed him all the way across the field, and he's not getting up.
Nebraska's going away from its bread and butter. They are a run team. They are a team that establishes physical superiority with a power game and with an option game. They're coming out here throwing on the first play of the 3rd quarter, and now they've tried to throw the past 2 plays. I think you've got to go mix it up and try to throw it right back at Tennessee, the team that you physically manhandled in the second half of the game down in the Orange Bowl 2 years ago.
I have to tell you, after that hit, I wanted to see if Crouch would get up, but it's Ellis who stays on the ground. Take another look at this. Ellis came off the backside and followed him all the way across the field. Now watch this. Woof. Oh, you know, he caught a knee from his own man.
He did.
On the way down. Well, there's timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. We've got a ball game now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your starting 7'1" Patrick Ewing, 6'11" Marcus Camby, 6'7".
They forgot to change the floor again.
Now there's a whole new way to snack and kick back. Introducing single-serving Tostitos snack kits. Just be sure you pick the right time to eat them. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Ewing lies to the hoop.
Every year I say, I'm going to quit smoking. Day later, I'm at it again. Till this year. See this? My last piece of Nicorette gum. Been smoke-free with Nicorette now for 12 weeks. With Nicorette, I help control my cravings 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help curb them. And then for unexpected cravings, I took another piece. And now, no more craving, no more nicotine. Happy New Year.
For a better quit date, you'll have to wait another 1,000 years. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Chrysler Concorde, 4-wheel independent suspension, and a powerful V6.
I didn't know Davis could move like that. I told him to think of himself as something powerful and agile. Wonder what he was thinking.
Now get $1,000 cash allowance on the Chrysler Concorde.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by new Tostitos Snack Kits. A whole new way to dig in, kick back. ADT, the power that protects more families than any other security company in America. Microsoft, where do you want to go today? And Chrysler, giving you back the romance of driving.
Sun Devil Stadium nestled in the Tempe Buttes alongside Tempe Town Lake, which is just 6 months old now. Gorgeous scene for this Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Take another look at this play. 2 players are hurt. Ellis still down on the field, and it looked like Rashad Moore, number 95, who kicks him in the head, and he's hurt as well. Boy, and then 58 is Dave Volk. He's 300 pounds. He lands on top of him.
The big guy is going down. I mean, Sean Ellis has gone down, is down. Henderson has been down, the big defensive tackle. Darwin Walker earlier in the ball game. And Rashad Moore, number 95 there as well. So Walker, Moore, Henderson, Ellis. Now you mentioned Volk.
Moore had his knee hit him right in the helmet, and he is on the sideline trying to work the kinks out as well.
Now, John Chavis is in better shape this time around than he was 2 years ago. They did not have the defensive front depth. Now he can go in and replace Ellis with D'Angelo Lloyd for some quality snaps, and Hainsworth can get in for Henderson, and Moore for Walker, and Jackson for Overstreet. So the depth is helping.
So it'll be second down and 15 for Nebraska. Out of the shotgun. Crouch has pressure again, throws the screen, it's dropped. Incomplete. You know, Dean, I agree with you. They've gotten away from the run, but you don't feel like these tailbacks are like the typical Nebraska tailbacks.
Well, they're really not. I mean, they're big, strong, powerful runners, but when I think of Nebraska football, I think of Mike Rozier back there. I think of Amon Green, who beat Tennessee as part of that club a couple of years ago. These guys are not difference makers. And when you don't have a difference maker at I-back and you don't have Wistrom, your tight end, it puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Comes from a guy who played quarterback at Oklahoma and was 4-0 against the Cornhuskers. Crouch with the quarterback draw. Not going to get there. Matter of fact, he doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Stevenson takes him down with another big play by the Volunteer defense. Well, they have played outstanding. This first 5 minutes could not have gone better for Phil Fulmer. The defensive front. Watch Stevenson here, number 28, stay at home in the middle, right in the middle. He's got his sights set on number 7, and Nebraska is playing back on its heels.
The key there, he was patient, maintained his leverage, took him inside out. Good play by Stevenson. Oh, this is a low liner. Parker will have a chance to return it. Looking for some help, though. And he brings it back to the 42. 35-yard mark. 11-yard return. Let's go downstairs to Leslie.
Boyton, the defensive line's really getting beat up for Tennessee. Sean Ellis is out right now, but the good news is that he too just has a neck stinger, so there is a chance of him coming back in this game as well.
11-yard return.
Now, it's important, Tim, that Tennessee be the aggressor. They stay on the offense. You know, that first quarter, they were going backwards. They didn't really assault Nebraska. I think they figured out a little bit about what Charlie McBride was doing defensively, scheme-wise, and then they got on the perimeter. They used all 160 feet width of this field, and I think that's what they need to go back to, being aggressive.
Now, the Vols have a lot of momentum. This is a key drive. First down. Over the middle open. Big gainer, first down. Cedric Wilson with the completion. That's 4 receptions now for Wilson. All of them seem to be first down plays. And there he is.
Cedric Wilson, a former high school quarterback, underneath the coverage. And Booker, Deion Booker, the brother of former Husker star Michael Booker, trailing.
Leonard Scott checks into the ball game now for Tennessee. He is the fastest Volunteer ever. Indoor sprint champion. Had that touchdown against Vandy in the last game. First down, Vols.
Here we go. And
Martin looking deep. There he is. Almost. Ralph Brown on the coverage. Put him in the game and turn him loose.
That's the name of college football. That's what it's all about right now. It's one-on-one coverage. It's come get the quarterback if you can. It's throw it down there deep and let's see who can make a play. And that time, Ralph Brown wins over the freshman Scott, who Tim was just talking about as being the fastest guy to ever play at Tennessee. Great coverage Brown told me the other day, he says, I run down there shoulder to shoulder with them, and when I hear the crowd get to as loud as they can get, I know to look back, and that's what he did then.
He's got to make that catch. It was in his hands. I think Brown got away with a face mask. Here's T. Martin. Take a look at this again, Dean, because the ball hits his hands. It's not touched. Scott's got to make the catch. But watch Brown getting away with a face mask on the end of this play. Now watch this. And look at that. He's got his face mask with the left hand.
Does have his face mask. And you know, it appeared to me that he was actually pushed originally by the receiver, but that's not going to be called very often. Third down and 6. Looking for a flag. There is none. Stallworth was down. And Phil Fulmer is hot. That's a Steve Spurrier move. You throw the hat. I guess they all do it in the SEC. He doesn't have a visor. He's got a hat.
Well, take a look. Stallworth ended on the ground. How'd he get there? We'll take a look at it when we get a chance. Leverton on the punt on 4th down. Trying to pooch it again to the corner. It'll hit inside the 10. Great kick. And again, they'll down it.
This is exactly the opposite of what happened in the first half. Nebraska was pinning Tennessee back within its 5-yard line.
A 39-yard punt. And here comes Tennessee.
I need love, love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. Mama must say, you gotta hurry, love.
Now there's a whole new way to snack and kick back. Introducing single-serving Tostitos snack kits. Just be sure you pick the right time to eat them. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Arizona Angels coming to bat in the first.
Come on, I see the delivery for the parakeet. Let me go surprise him. No. Come on. What if I gave you $3? How much? $4. Pets.com, because pets can't drive.
Get the good life now at Sears during the best time to buy. For example, save $120 on this Kenmore washer and dryer pair and get free delivery. Sears, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
Tom and Audrey Darcy just bought 21 acres on which they plan to build their dream house. But if they could see a complete picture of all their accounts and assets, they'd manage their money differently, and they'd break ground a lot sooner. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
You ain't got no business being in the ring with me. You all know I am the greatest.
Muhammad Ali, King of the World, Monday, January 10th on ABC.
Here's the controversial call. Keo Craver playing against Stallworth. Bumps him, bumps him, bumps him. Ball might be in the air. Fulmer wants a flag. No flag because that's an uncatchable ball. It doesn't matter even if he were hitting him while the ball were in the air.
That was the ruling, but I disagree. Well, you know that ball was not catchable. I think he could have gotten to it. Nebraska's backed up, and they get a big gainer. And Alexander all the way out across the 10 to the 11.
You'd think he could have caught that, but Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't have been able to catch that one a couple of years ago.
Well, I know you thought it was 20 yards downfield. I thought it was about 8. He was knocked down 6 yards from the line of scrimmage.
There were 2 close calls going against Tennessee.
How about this? Yesterday, Georgia came back from a 25-0 deficit to win. Now another SEC team, Tennessee, coming back after trailing by 17. Dan Alexander bobbled the ball, almost lost it, but he got the first down.
Well, it almost worked in reverse, though. My alma mater, Oklahoma, came back, I think 21-3. They were down to David Cutcliffe's team, the former offensive coordinator here for many years for Fulmer. The Mississippi Rebels were up 21-3, and Oklahoma came back and almost got it.
Watch this. He had a fumble earlier.
Now they're thinking about it. I asked Alexander the other day, do they harp on it? Does that bug you? And he said, yeah, we're trying to not even talk about it.
Here's Alexander, big hole, lead blocker to the 22-yard line.
We've got another injury. At the end of that play, a Nebraska offensive lineman did something to either an ankle or a knee.
And it's Deion Grant, the All-American, who comes up limping.
Rayola's the lineman I was speaking of, though, the center, and this guy is a star.
Deion Grant's hurt. He's going to come out of the game.
Survival of the fittest, partner.
That means Mickey Allen, the sophomore, will have to come in and take the All-American's place. Second down and 4. Option. Alexander. Second effort, got it.
We are having some collisions out here. You mentioned Mickey Allen coming in for Grant. Mickey Allen will hit you. Number 29. We'll keep an eye on this cat all night long because he is perfectly suited to be the alley player, if you will, against option. Watch 29.
I'll tell you this. He's only 175 pounds. But, folks, he knows the difference between come here and sick 'em. They move the chains. First down, Cornhuskers. Again, the option. Crouch. May have lost a yard. Stevenson got there and made the tackle. Take a look at the FedEx game summary, Dean.
Here's Tennessee, 22-21. Well, they have a balanced offense. For the season, there you see their rush numbers, 4.6. But Crouch is total yards 128. That's a key number in this game so far. He got some numbers early, but he hasn't been able to do anything on the ground. In fact, the last 27 rushes for Nebraska, they've had 4 for loss, and only 1 of them where they've gained more than 8 yards.
Second down, they're calling it 10, but it's almost 11. Here's Dan Alexander again with a blocker in front of him and a flag. This is going to come back holding against Nebraska.
And this will be a penalty from the spot of the foul, not from the spot of the last play.
What a great scene tonight. What a great stadium. I know there's a lot of talk around here about building a new stadium. By the way, the aerial coverage provided by Tostitos. But Sun Devil Stadium, dressed up, has never looked better.
Boy, isn't it a great night, great scene? This has been wonderful. I was so happy when this thing came together.
Hey, partner, didn't we have fun last night with the Tostitos folks?
Yeah.
In the grand ballroom, and we sat and we chatted. They asked us all the questions that we probably had no answers to, but had a lot of fun making it up.
This bowl has come a long way. I played in it back in 1976. Fred Akers up at Wyoming was coaching Tim, and the bowl was in its infancy, and it has come a long way. This is as good as it gets.
I told you I didn't quite make it. We lost the final game to Miami down in the Orange Bowl. Missouri came that year. Here's the shuffle pass inside. And Newcomb picks up about 6.
Bobby a little feisty there at the bottom of that pile. He's probably a little frustrated because they've moved him all around, but he has not gotten his hands on the football very often.
Never seen the flu pass around as much as we've seen it. We saw it over in Hawaii. We saw it here in Tempe. I may have a little touch of it, but I know Bobby Newcomb has it. He says he's weak.
He had it the other day. Here's that little shuffle pass inside. It's a Quarterbacks like it because you get yardage for the pass. You know, that's only the 5th touch he's had all night long.
3rd down and 13 for Nebraska.
Watch it!
Browns with time. Throws to the outside. He's got a strike to John Mullins. Oh, what a big first down for Nebraska. They needed 16. They got 17.
We're seeing good football. We're not seeing plays that are busted. We're seeing precision passing and defensive players who are going for interceptions. You got to give credit to your strong safety here, Fred White, number 2. He breaks on that ball because he thinks he can get it.
First down, Huskers. They go to the fullback. It's wide open. Look out, Willie Miller. He's got speed for a big guy. They take him down at the 14-yard line by Willie Miller, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska, straight up the middle. 47 yards.
And that's the beauty of the Nebraska offense. Just when you think you kind of have them caged in, they get you thinking outside. They get you thinking option. They get you thinking multiple pass options. And then they bust it right up the middle. Simple little belly play, and Willie Miller is dragged down by Westmoreland, or that's a touchdown.
Willie Miller, 6'1", 245 pounds, and for a big guy, he can roll.
Sweetie?
Can the monsters get me?
Not a chance.
When you've got ADT, you've got the power of advanced home monitoring technology.
Good morning. This is
The
Diana.
power of experienced professionals helping to keep you safe.
Okay. Calling the fire department right now.
From burglary, fire, flooding, carbon monoxide, even the occasional monster.
This is Janet with AT&T.
Call now and get ADT's sophisticated burglary system installed for as little as $99. Plus, get 2 months free monitoring.
And thank you for choosing ADT.
ADT helps protect more homes and families than any other security company in America. Call now and get the ADT burglary system from $99 installed. Plus 2 months free monitoring. Sleep tight. Get the power of ADT.
We've had success with that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Our company's made huge strides in e-commerce.
No, who hasn't?
We've got web-based order tracking. We can analyze our customer data in all kinds of ways. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the same with us.
Yeah. So how did you guys integrate your ERP?
Burp? Confused about e-business? Don't be. Get the software, services, and partners that make it easier. The business internet starts with...
At Nokia, we've discovered that adjusting the color of your phone can be this easy. With Express-On color covers for the Nokia 5100 series wireless phone. Nokia. Connecting people.
1 week from Sunday, the phenomenon is back.
He's won $1 million.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire returns next Sunday on ABC.
Tennessee's rush defense has been terrific this year. Here's what they've done yards allowed against these teams. 8 yards. 123, 162. Their average, 176, is what they have lost. They held them that much below their average, each of those teams. One team rushed for more than its average.
Brown stops, looks, man open, touchdown, Galladay, Nebraska.
Huskers lull you to sleep. They come back with play action. They're aggressive. That's what you got to like. And we were questioning earlier whether they should be throwing the ball as much as they are. Well, when you catch it, it's a good call. Frank Solich likes his call there.
That was a strike.
Okay,
they had another one. Josh Brown, perfect. Tennessee is so banged up defensively now, it's going to be hard to stop the Cornhuskers. They made that drive look easy. Boy, they'll be asking for volunteers. Here's a look at Sean Ellis. He's hurt. He had to leave. John Henderson, he was banged up. Remember that? Henderson had to come out of the ball game. Darwin Walker has been in and out. Wes Moreland's already playing with a bad knee, and Deion Grant had to leave.
Well, and Rashard Moore did as well. So we've just rattled off 8 defenders. Some of them have been on blows that were just glances, and some of them have been the result of Nebraska being very physical. And if you'll remember, that's what was the difference in the game down in the Orange Bowl. So Tennessee has looked forward to a payback night. They say we're ready for this game. We're bigger, we're better, we're stronger. Well, now's the time to prove it.
So the Husker lead back to 10. Leonard Scott prepares for his return. 4:44 to play, third quarter. Aidenfeld's kick is long, and Scott takes it at the 2. Scott needs a block, and all the way out to the 27. Well, everybody's talking about, certainly we have all night, the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the national championship. And folks, we can tell you the Nokia Sugar Bowl has gone interactive with ABC's Enhanced TV. Get real-time stats and more while you watch the game. Log on to ESPN.com or ABC.com on Tuesday, January 4th. That's this Tuesday for the BCS National Championship game.
Nebraska is going to be getting upfield with their defensive front. I think you're going to see Tennessee balance this thing out, throw it, but also bring some counter gap at them.
I think the offense for Tennessee now becomes their best defense. They've got to milk the clock and get a good drive going and keep that Nebraska offense off the field.
And that's the play, counter gap, that I anticipated, but Nebraska does a good job of plugging it up.
Travis Henry, the ball carrier.
Counter gap, you see the counter step in the backfield, the left guard come over and crunch his man, but Nebraska's not moving very freely that time. Carlos Polk, 255 pounds, a middle linebacker, is tough to move.
Second down and 9. Again they run, and this time there's a big hole. Travis Henry to the 37, close to a Tennessee first down. There's a look at a big freshman, Galladay.
That's the great thing about college football. One game you'll think you're not going to be much of a factor. The next one you're a star. He actually was able to start in the Big 12 championship game because of that injury to Wistrom. Now he comes back again, playing well, and he is a terrific blocker on top of all of that.
They move the chains. Martin has this. Oh, it looked like it should have been caught by Dante Stallworth. And that would have been another first down, but it's dropped, so they bring it back. It'll be second down and 10.
Steve Warren, great job of pass rushing here. He gets an old hand slap and a rip on the center. Watch him come right in the middle of your screen. Big, strong, powerful guy, 6'2", 305-pounder. And he's a guy that had to work a lot in flexibility in the offseason to even be out here because he's had a lot of back problems. What was it he was doing? Kickboxing.
They tried to get him to take ballet. He says, I'm not picking on the 2-2.
I wouldn't laugh at him if he did.
So they put him in martial arts, and it's helped. Coming with a blitz. They run against it, but it doesn't help. Aaron Wills with a tackle from behind.
Will showing speed. He's not the fastest of defenders. But when you spread that offense out, when you make them go east-west, you have a great chance at tracking them down because Nebraska's going to free up a lot of defenders. They're just going to outnumber you. You have 7 blocking, they're going to bring 8. You have 8 blocking, they're going to bring 9.
More Nebraska people here tonight than Tennessee, and they're on their feet. 3rd down and long.
Only 1 of 8 on 3rds.
They throw this pass. They've got it up for the first. That's Cedric Wilson, the go-to guy. His 5th catch of the night.
And that's the play they like in that situation. They like that little quick slant. We've talked about it 3 or 4 times tonight. They see a hole. You bring your man in motion. You bring Wilson in here. He stops because he can't get any closer to his offensive lineman, and he knows he has a soft spot in the zone. He hits that soft spot, and T. Martin is able to zip it to him quickly and pick up a critical 1st down.
Leonard Scott checks back into the ball game. He's the speedster. Pass is dropped again by Stallworth. So on this one drive, Dean, Stallworth has dropped 2 passes that should have been caught.
Oh, and that one was big. I mean, Keo Craver, for whatever reason, wasn't ready on that play, Tim. He was buckling his chin strap, still not buckled. He wasn't in position. And so Stallworth has a step on his man, and I think he would have gone the distance. Let's watch this. Watch him. Keo Craver is following him by about 2 yards.
Oh, that's 2 on this drive that he should have had.
Keo Craver might have gotten him there. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's free to go 52 yards.
They need 10. Pressure. It's 101. And Parker can't get around the corner. Hey, want to join ABC Sports in Atlanta for the Super Bowl? That's where ABC's going. We're going to cover the Super Bowl. Love to take you with us. Watch Monday Night Football for all the details. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. But remember, you got to watch to win because somebody's going to win a free trip courtesy of ABC Sports to the Super Bowl. 1:45 to play, 3rd quarter. Nebraska by 10.
3rd down. Who makes your plays? T. Martin. He'll be called on again.
They need 5. Incomplete. It was intended for Cedric Wilson. Well, let's take you back to Tostitos' action play of the game. Bobby Newcomb on a punt return. It was 7-0 at this point. Dean, he broke this one for 60.
Yeah, he's got the speed. You know, he's a sprinter, and watching him in practice, and you can see it right there, he runs like a sprinter. He gets those legs up, and I even asked him, I said, has anybody ever told you you look sort of run like Carl Lewis? He looked at me like I was an idiot.
I love those Tostitos action highlights. Another pooch kick. Will they get it? Whoa! Got it on the 1.
Goes out of bounds.
Oh, my! David Leverton again, a 45-yard punt. They pooch it inside the 10. It's marked at the 1. And another Tennessee player is shaken up.
45-yard punt.
While we have a chance, let's remind you, coming up next Sunday, Dorothy Hamill leads a team of USA's elite skaters against the world's best. Michelle Kwan, Todd Eldridge, Sarah Bonnelly, and Elvis Stoico. They'll all be there, among the biggest names in skating who put their reputations on the ice. It's the Kerry Lotion USA versus the World Figure Skating Challenge coming up next Sunday, 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It's all part of Super January here on ABC.
You know, Tim, and looking at the crowd from our vantage point, which is just spectacular up here at the very top, it appears to me that the trade-off here is like 8-1 Nebraska. You didn't hear a lot of noise when that ball was kicked out of bounds on the 2-yard line, whereas had that been Nebraska, it would have erupted. And I guess part of the reasoning is that they traveled here a year ago for this championship game, and there were other concerns as well.
You know, Dean, we were talking about all the injured players for Tennessee, and we mentioned Sean Ellis as being shaken up several times tonight, and here he is again, down after that great punt.
Yeah, I think he still is down, but I'm not sure. All right, let's see this one go out of bounds here. That was about 6 inches from going into the end zone.
Actually, that is not Sean Ellis.
Yeah. I think that's Gaines, the backup.
Teddy Gaines.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if Ellis got down there that quickly to cover that punt, he really had some speed for a big guy.
Ellis says, hey, Tim, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Oh, Sean knows I love him. So I'm trying to give him that pop, say how fast he is. Sean Ellis is back in the ball game. That's good news as Gaines gets helped off.
Looks like Gaines will not be back in the game. That doesn't look good. All right, now Tennessee's right where they want to be. I mean, if you're going to give the ball to Nebraska, you might as well make them go 99 yards.
Two great programs, two great traditions. Look at the field position in this half.
Just the opposite in the first half. I mean, everything that has happened here in this quarter is just the opposite of what happened in the first quarter.
Well, the last time Nebraska had it, they went more than 90 yards and got the touchdown. Here's Crouch. Oh, dangerously close to the goal line. Gets it out. Maybe a gain of 1.
That's a little wrinkle to their option game. It's really a quarterback keeper. They don't even have the option to pitch that ball back. As Crouch has his backfield mate, watch his man in the backfield. He'll come through. The fullback, he's not giving it to him. So the I-back comes up and is the lead blocker on Westmoreland, who makes the tackle.
This Tennessee defense is banged up, but you don't want to fool around in that end zone too long. They'll get after you. Second down and 9. Big hole. It's Miller again. He broke the big one last drive. All the way out to the 15. It's a first down, Huskers.
Nebraska doing the blocking up front. Russ Hochstein. Look at him, number 55, open away there. And he also gets a block by Applegate. And, Tim, that's the scary thing. When you play this pressure defense as everyone is playing around the country, and you get 9 or 10 men within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, you bust through that line of scrimmage, and it's pay dirt.
Hochstein, 6'4", 290, got a big block there. You're right. Here's Crouch. You know, Dean, they run that speed option. Very rarely they run the triple option. They actually run it oftentimes like Fisher DeBerry runs the fishbone out there at Air Force, but they haven't been giving it to the fullback until this half. And both times it looked like it surprised Tennessee. They didn't have anybody on Miller.
Some of those are called plays where they give it to the fullback. Some of them are reads where they read the 5 technique. Great quarter of football, both teams.
The end of the third quarter. A 10-point game. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Well, when I got hurt and missed work, glad I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that?
Aflac. Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Shouldn't ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called?
Aflac!
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Aflac.
AT&T 00 Info. How can I help you?
I need a phone number. The Mystery Bookstore outside Chicago. I don't have a clue which town.
Now you can get information even if you don't have all the information. AT&T customers, dial 00. You don't need the exact location.
Found it.
Great detective work.
Dial 00 for any local or long-distance number anywhere, even Yellow Page listings.
Oh, it's magic. You know.
The first Wednesday of the new millennium starts with a new 2 guys and a girl.
Yes!
It is exciting, isn't it?
Yes!
An all-new 2 guys and a girl. See you Wednesday on ABC.
The V6 Passat.
Nice car.
Quick, responsive, room for 4.
Hang on. Saw this in a movie once.
Flight 57 now boarding.
Hey, Junior, we don't want to miss our curtain. I hope you've got Hertz #1 Club Gold.
Well, not exactly, but
This company's fast. Oh, sure. Can't we skip the rental counter like it hurts? Well, not exactly. Hey, genius, I'm waterlogged. Doesn't your company have a canopy like Hertz? Well, not exactly.
Remember, there's Hertz and there's not exactly. Choose the right one.
So you still think I'm the dummy? Not exactly.
News, weather, and traffic now a half hour earlier at 5 a.m.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
This stadium built back in 1958. It's hosted 4 national championship games and a Super Bowl, and tonight it's got a dandy. Nebraska jumped out to a 17-0 lead. Tennessee closed the half with a very critical touchdown. T. Martin to Dante Stallworth. They scored immediately to start the second half. And then in the last possession, Nebraska went 96 yards. They're ready to go 99 on this drive, or at least they're trying. Dan Alexander around for the first down again. But what a ball game.
Well, it's wonderful, and I told you earlier in the week that I felt that either way, this was going to be a game that goes into the fourth quarter. I felt that both teams were good enough to stage a comeback, and they are so evenly matched. But having said that, this is a huge drive. Tennessee has fallen back to 10 points down, and although they have played well, if Nebraska takes this and scores, it will be mighty difficult for Tennessee to win this football game.
Tim Brandt, Dean Blevins, Leslie Goodell with you from Sun Devil Stadium. Another big game by Alexander. They're just starting to pull them and push them and shove them, and the Nebraska strength starting to show.
Yes, it is.
But let me ask you, partner, how about the fourth quarters they had against Texas, the fourth quarter they had against Colorado? Complete breakdowns.
Well, I think that you build on that. I think that the offensive staff gets with the offense and says, guys, you know, something's wrong here. We've got these fourth quarter classes. We have this great weight program. We have this great conditioning program. Where are we in the fourth quarter?
Really, the only 2 bad quarters they've had all year. The Huskers could be playing for their 4th national championship since 1994. But they lost to Texas by 4 and to battle Colorado right down to the wire. First down, again it's Dan Alexander, and again they're just starting to wear down that banged-up defense of Tennessee.
Well, it is banged up, but you've got a lot of starters in there for Tennessee, and it's not taking Nebraska 3 downs. Usually when you have a team running it at you, you have to grind it to pick up the first down, and Nebraska's doing it in chunks of 1 down and 2 downs. They don't need a third.
You look at Phil Fulmer, obviously concerned. John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, told us he wanted to play a lot of people early to keep the defense fresh for the fourth quarter. He thought that would be a key, and certainly right now they look tired. Absolutely. Wicks, first down, and again it's the tailback. Buckholter, big hole. Buckholter all the way down to the 20-yard line and inside the 20.
Perfect call against that blitz. You talk about a lane opening up. Raynoch, Thompson, Westmoreland, they all come on the blitz. They don't get there. Look at the alleyway open up. 63, James Sherman out front doing the blocking. And that leaves Grant laying a body block to get Buckholter down.
Nebraska getting them in chunks. That was 27 yards.
They haven't had to throw the football at all. It's been all on the ground, Tim.
That's a good block.
Fullback Miller carrying tacklers to the 13.
By Walker.
You have the feeling if Nebraska scores here, it's Katie bar the door.
Tennessee needs a turnover. It appears that it's going to be hard to stop these guys. They need to force a turnover, and Nebraska has done that a lot this year.
Second down, big hole. Alexander inside the 5. Correction, it's Buckholter down to the 3.
This is power football. Look at Rayola, the guard, or the center. Look at Willie Miller, 15. And Buckholter is not really the power back. He has good power, and 225 pounds. Alexander's more of the north-south bull. but he was a hard man to pull down.
Mickey Allen stopped a touchdown, or at least delayed it. Here they go again. Straight ahead. Touchdown, Corral Buckholzer. Nebraska starting to flex its muscle.
This drive was nothing more than Crouch turning around and handing it to the big guys behind him and saying, up front, Hochstein, look at 55, blow his man out of there. Every one of the defenders is back in the end zone.
Extra point is good. Tempers start to flare.
Hello, everybody.
Hochstein with a key block to the man. These guys said, we'll come out, we're going to take care of Tennessee. And then if there's any way you can arrange it, we'll beat the winner of Florida State, Virginia Tech.
Hey, neighbor. Can I borrow some ice?
Yeah, sure. Hold this.
Yep. Thanks. Got any sugar? Toothbrush? Hairdryer?
With more barbecue and cheddar flavor you can see, more you can taste on every chip and every bite. New Ruffles Flavor Rush potato chips keep you coming back for more.
Hello? What? Are you sure? Okay, we'll be right there.
What is it?
Minnie Blackwell's having a party. Let's roll.
Looking for a good time? The Civic from Honda.
I'm going with extra pickles.
Pickles? I hate pickles. Onions rule, man. Give me extra onions, no tomatoes.
Tomatoes are key. I mean, pickles and tomatoes are like the yin and yang of the Whopper.
Look, you get your yin and yang and leave my onions alone, okay?
Okay. But you're wrong.
Hey, it's just a choice.
Yeah, and you choose to be wrong.
Oh, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack. And that's my Whopper. It's my Whopper, and it's my $2.
Every morning, the future walks into my classroom. As a teacher, it's my responsibility to empower my students with every advantage. That's why we worked with Dell. Because of Dell's relationships with education software companies, the internet became a learning tool to kindle my students' imaginations. Nothing is more important than giving my students the knowledge they crave. Dell understands that.
Be direct. Dell. Dell desktops use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Tuesday, January 11th at 10/9 Central.
Remember me?
Blue is back. The season premiere of NYPD Blue, Tuesday, January 11th on ABC.
The temperature continues to drop on a chilly night in Tempe, Arizona, but Nebraska continues to heat up. 31-14. And in the last two drives, the last two possessions, the Cornhuskers have gone almost 200 yards.
Well, that's pretty impressive, particularly the last one coming all on the ground. Tennessee knew what was coming at them and couldn't slow it. So now they've got to have a big punt or big kickoff return or score quickly.
A 96-yard drive, 99-yard drive. Now Tennessee has to answer. Here's Leonard Scott. Gets back to the 19. 11:52 remaining in the ballgame. Hey, Charles Schwab will make contributions to the scholarship funds of each of the universities represented in the Bowl Championship Series. We thank him for that.
Hey, what a heavyweight fight. We said earlier that this game was going to be like a heavyweight fight. Two terrific programs. One team came out in Nebraska and got a knockdown in the first quarter, first few rounds, and Tennessee got off the deck. They knocked the Huskers down. And now Nebraska's back on top, seeing if Tennessee can do it.
Well, they said T. Martin is a warrior. We'll find out. He's got to make some big plays. Here he is, looking deep, looking for Scott. Overthrows him.
Had him, though, Tim.
That was Stallworth. I said Scott.
Yeah, well, those guys are both going to be stars. I mean, you can put them together because Stallworth and Scott are two speedsters who have terrific talent as young receivers. And when I think of Tennessee, I think of terrific wide receivers. You know, Peerless Price was a big playmaker last year. But one of the things that hamstrung this team this year is they didn't have great wide receiver play early. Cedric Wilson was a go-to guy, and the other guys finally developed.
Second down and 10. Swing pass, Stallworth drilled. Ralph Brown, just tattooed him.
If you remember in the first half, this was one of the effective plays that Tennessee went with. You make a halftime adjustment. You say, Ralph Brown, stay in there. Be looking for him, and then lay a lick on him but when he doesn't know it's coming.
That's the kind of hit that'll rattle your fillings and put your eyeballs in your forehead. Third down and 13. Goes over the middle, and here it's caught by Wilson. They needed 14. They got 13.
Now you got to think about it. 10:50 to go in the game. If you don't make the first down here,
it's over.
It's over. Let's see. I think you've got to go for it. I think Nebraska is doing too much offensively to not go for it.
10:39 still to go. Bill Fulmer will ponder this one.
Hey! Do you know what time it is? Please, people are trying to sleep down there.
Let nothing stand in your way. The four-wheel drive Passport from Honda.
Shannon Sharp, please, has always talking trash.
Japan, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price.
Before I quit smoking, I asked my doctor, is Nicorette safe? And he said, of course Nicorette is safe. Smoking is not. Nicorette has been proven safe and effective in dozens of clinical trials. And Nicorette offers the Committed Quitter Support Program, which my doc said is clinically proven to increase my chances of success by up to 50%. And when he told me that only Nicorette comes in mint, I knew that that was the right choice for me. So I took my doctor's advice, and you know what? It worked.
You can do it. Nicorette can help.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Charles Schwab. When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we also created a smarter kind of investor. Nicorette Gum. You can do it. Nicorette can help. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people. And Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.
10:39 to play. Tennessee down by 17. It's 4th down and 1 in their own territory, and the Volunteers are going for it. Play action. Got the first down with a terrific catch by Johnson. Oh my, wide open. T. Martin did not throw a great pass, but Neil Johnson made a terrific catch.
And they never throw to their tight ends. They throw their tight ends about 3 times a year. That is a wonderful catch.
Look how wide open he is.
Well, and I thought T. Martin would run that ball to pick up the first down. He's shaking his head. He's going, man, you just saved me. Game's over if he doesn't make that.
His daddy is proud of him. Neil Johnson's dad played at Tennessee, and I can tell you his chest is swelling up now. T. Martin to throw. Does. Has a man open. It's another first down.
You know, Tim, one of the reasons that I felt that they had to go for that is that their defense is so tired. They were on the field for those 2 long drives, And if you put them back out on the field, if you punt the ball and give it back to Nebraska with good field position, I don't think they're going to slow them down. Now you have a chance to go score and rest your defense.
Stallworth made that catch, and had he been able to stay in bounds, he was gone.
Look at the average yards on first down for Nebraska. 9 yards.
First down, Tennessee. Now the Volunteers fighting Nebraska and the clock. Here's the draw play. That's Jamal Lewis, and he gets 4.5.
That's like sitting down in Vegas at the blackjack table and being on 16. you know, hit me.
Second and 5 at the 49.
Second down, call it a long 5. T. Martin trying to change. He wants to go to the other side. Repositions his back. Now looks to the outside. And it's complete. And Stallworth is out into Nebraska territory. He'll need about 2 more for the first. That's 7 catches now for Dante Stallworth. Stallworth, the redshirt freshman from Sacramento. Boy, they are taking their time, Dean.
Yeah, I don't think you're in a rush mode, but I think you take care of your business. I mean, you get in the huddle, you get back there, you get ready to go. The problem is the play call is very slow coming in from Randy Sanders at this point.
Well, there has to be a sense of urgency because we go under 9 minutes now, and they still need 3 scores. Third down and a long one, almost 2. Big hole inside the 40, but there's a flag down. Travis Henry has just checked back into the game.
By Booker, penalty marked out.
Critical call here. I would think it would go against Tennessee based on where it was thrown, but that was the counter gap that was open.
It is against Tennessee. Boy, last year's game, the national championship game, Tennessee and Florida State, 23 penalties, 7 turnovers. Yeah. Both teams very, very rusty.
6 men up the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
This year, both coaches took different approaches, or at least Nebraska and Tennessee coaches took different approaches. It's been a fairly well-played ball game.
It really has been well played. That's a penalty, though, that really hurts. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. You've got to have 7. And that's not a procedure holding. That's a mental mistake right there.
Well, instead of a first down, they now have 3rd down and 6.
Watch those hands!
Martin throws to the hook. He's got it. It's a first down. And again, it's Cedric Wilson, the go-to guy, who picks up the first. That's 7 catches for Wilson.
T. Martin lighting it up right now. He's finding the soft spots. Here he gets Deion Booker playing soft in the secondary. As you know, you have to. And that coverage, they're in the right situation. They have the right play called for that coverage.
Martin with pressure. Ball's loose. Tennessee gets it back, but they'll lose 4. Aaron Wills forced the fumble. He had the pressure.
Number 52.
You know, Dean, the game has changed to the point where Booker and Brown have to be involved in a lot of tackles. You're seeing the strong safety becoming almost like a linebacker.
Yeah, you really are. And this is one that could have been Katie bar the door for the guys from Tennessee, but that's Kosi Coleman, the All-American there, the junior who I think is going to come out after this game into the NFL saving the day, or at least giving Tennessee a chance.
Just talking about the safeties, Booker goes out, Finley comes in. 2nd down and 14. Here's a double pass. Wilson's going to throw this one. Has a man wide open. It's Stallworth. Touchdown, Tennessee. Oh, my. The ball's come rolling back.
This is a play that I saw the other day in practice, and it went exactly like this. We told you that Cedric Wilson is a former high school quarterback, and this is a play that was set up perfectly. They've run this play a couple of times tonight, but this time he pulls up. It was a lateral, and he throws a strike. And did they ever need it, Tim?
Alex Walls splits the sticks. It's a 10-point game again with 7:25 to play from the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona. Stallworth with the score. The pass from Cedric Wilson.
V6 7-passenger enormously helpful Odyssey from Honda. It's one big happy minivan.
Come on, girl. Buddy, let's go.
Hello? Now we're almost there. Bye-bye. Connecting people. Sorry, Slugger. Sold out.
Better luck next time.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
What's that?
They gave the ferret a teleprompter.
Teleprompter. Well, I guess he can't memorize his lines, huh?
Memorize his lines. The guy's a door jam. I don't know why they give him so much slack.
Well, that's because he's got a good look.
A good look?
Yeah, look, I mean, looks like a little European filmmaker.
I had a good look.
Louis, no lizard, has a good look.
What are you talking about?
We're not a good-looking species.
We're not... You have no pride, Frank.
I simply know my limitations.
I am classically chiseled.
Spin City is moving. They're there just to Wednesdays. Starting January 12th, Spin City moves to Wednesdays on ABC.
You talk about being faked out of your shorts. Watch Stallworth here. Keo Craver's 3. Brown, the safety, is not going to give deep help. So Keo Craver bites on that one. The hook is planted. And that's a wide open pass for Cedric Wilson, who knew, Tim, that he didn't need to lead him the way he would if he had a defender close. Perfectly executed trick play. Pretty good combo right there.
Meanwhile, Tennessee lined up for an onside kick. Nebraska took a timeout to regroup. Now they've got the hands team in, and Volunteers will try what looks to be the onside kick. David Leverton is the kicker. Here we go. That ball is loose. Still loose and knocked out by a Tennessee player. It'll be Nebraska ball, but it was loose for a long time.
Well, now, that tells you a couple of things here. I mean, it's only a 10-point game. That tells you that, number one, they like their chances of they've got a good kicker. And
once this goes 10 yards,
kick.
It's a live ball.
Yeah, but, Tim, I think it's really early. No one has possession of it, so the ball goes to Nebraska at the point where it goes out of bounds. But 7:23 to go in the game, that's a very early onside kick.
Last two drives have just been dominant for Nebraska.
Well, they really have, and their offensive line is just leaning on Tennessee and wearing them out. And these holes that are being opened are big enough to drive a golf cart through.
Last two Nebraska drives, 96 yards and 99 yards for touchdowns. Buck Halter. Actually, that's Alexander. We're up here on the 12 stories up.
Yeah.
120-some feet.
It's hard
this
to see
game is a rumor.
It's hard to see the difference between a 6 and an 8 on that jersey from up here. But I'm still a little surprised that you go with the onside kick. You know, I don't know if that tells Nebraska that we're a little concerned about slowing you down.
You know, you can see where we are way up on top. You know, top this press box. This is a brand new, fairly new press box that they built when the Super Bowl was out here. Super Bowl 30.
That's right. I was here. Cowboys beat Steelers.
Made us a lot higher than we used to be when we come out here to do games at Sun Devil Stadium, but it is gorgeous. First down, Cornhuskers. That's Alexander, and he almost broke it.
Now, for what Alexander doesn't give you in the wiggle stuff, in the swivel hips, get outside and pure speed, he gives you back in power. This guy will run over you. He says, I'm a bully with the ball. In fact, remember he talked about his school where he's the bully at the school. He would scare the bullies off. He was his principal's favorite guy.
Alexander now over 100 yards. Clock continues to roll down to 6:20. Again, they toss it back to the I-back. Close to another first down. He'll need the other yard. Hey, he ruled the ring and bowed to no one. The world premiere, Muhammad Ali, King of the World. Coming up Monday, January 10th on ABC. First, he was known as Cassius Clay. Then Muhammad Ali. Then the King of the World, Muhammad Ali, Monday on ABC.
I was about to say, I wouldn't want to have to play the role of Muhammad Ali because there's only one, and then it'd be pretty tough for me to play that role anyway.
Crouch gets the first. Let's go downstairs to Leslie.
Thank you very much, Tim. I'm with a man who's had his share of success on the Nebraska offensive line. Dave Remington joins me now. And Dave, what brings you back here to Phoenix?
Well, I'm a special guest of the Fiesta Bowl. They've treated me well. I've had a great time, enjoying a great game. Every time I feel like I've been let down a little bit, Tennessee comes with a big play, and we've got to come back here and watch this thing again. I'm getting ready to go back upstairs and have a few sodas, you know, but I can't do it.
What are your thoughts on the Nebraska team that's out there, though? They seem really strong.
Well, they have a tradition, have a good offensive line, and with a Dominic Raiola, their center, I think people forget about me and start worrying about him. He's a great center, and I can't wait a couple more years.
How's football changed since you played college football?
Well, simply the size of the guys. They're 6'6", 330 pounds is the norm. When I played at 280 pounds, I was one of the biggest guys out there. So just the size and the speed of the guys.
Thanks a lot, Dave. You go get your sodas. Back to you, Tim.
Along with his Tostitos. Buckhalter picks up about 4 yards.
You know, Tim, he was talking about Raiola. This guy's a player now. He's 300-pounder, one of the 4 Hawaiian players on the Nebraska team. He's also a 300-pound surfer, the only 300-pound surfer I've ever known. He has a size 14 shoe, and he says he uses that to the leverage to his advantage. This guy is really good. He averages 12 pancake blocks a game.
It's because of his blocks and the rest of that line. 4 Nebraska players now rushed for 50 yards or more. Alexander over 100. Flags fly everywhere.
Hey, a rare penalty on Nebraska tonight. They have really played well.
Looks like the big fella on the left tackle jumped Adam Jolch.
Prior to the snap, ball starts, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You know, as good as Nebraska is, this was a team, Dean, in turmoil in September. A crisis week. Quarterback Eric Crouch was rumored to have quit. He went home to talk to his parents and his coach, and then he came back. The quarterback controversy between Crouch and Bobby Newcomb. Running back Buckhalter quit for 3 days. D'Angelo Evans quit. They wouldn't let him back. So it was a team in turmoil. And I have to tell you, Frank Solich, just an even-keeled guy, kept a great balance, closed the door on Evans, brought everybody else together, a new resolve, and boy, they've turned it loose.
I agree. That's why he's a Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Well, we have a chance. Let's take a look at the Nokia team comparison.
And let's look at how this game has turned. It has turned on what Nebraska football is all about, rushing the football, 284 yards. When you combine that with the fact that they've only had 1 turnover, it's usually a W for Nebraska. And it appears that that's what it's going to be, although if they turn it over, T. Martin can sure turn this thing back around.
Old adage in football, coaches love to say it, that blocking and running breaks football down to its simplest terms. And right now, Nebraska just being a bully. 16 straight runs by the Cornhuskers. Wow. Here they are again. Miller straight ahead. Carrying tacklers. First down, Huskers.
I'll tell you what, Nebraska was a little bit put off by some comments that Raynoch Thomas made talking about Nebraska using the chop block, the cut block. Thomas is a linebacker who felt that his linemen were chopped in their game they played a couple of years ago. In fact, he went as far, when we talked to him on camera a couple of days ago, to call Nebraska wimps. And I think they're trying to send a message back that Nebraska football, Big 12 football, is really not full of wimps.
Well, the only other time they played, Nebraska beat them up pretty good, 42-17. That was in the Orange Bowl. They called this the revenge game, Tennessee did. And they are only down by 10. But to be honest, Nebraska, like they did in that Orange Bowl game, starting to dominate and just take over the game.
You know, Tim, you mentioned Coach Solich a moment ago, and I think one of the things I really admire about him is he has that stoic demeanor. He's always steady and he's purposeful. But, you know, he talks about not being up and down. He says, if you are up and down, your team's going to see that. In the fourth quarter, they're going to be that way. And he didn't lose. He was unflappable when Tennessee was coming back, and he's the same guy he has been all along, and that's the kind of guy Tom Osborne was before him.
Well, and he followed that legend, Dr. Tom, and certainly the Vandy before that. He's done a heck of a job. 20-5 record coming into this. Eric Crouch around the left side and knocked him out of bounds on the 27-yard line. Well, we're going to tell you this again because it is that big. We want you to join ABC Sports in Atlanta for the Super Bowl. Now watch Monday Night Football for all the details this Monday night, tomorrow night. But remember, you got to watch to win because ABC Sports wants to send somebody to Atlanta for the Super Bowl, courtesy of ABC Sports. But you've got to watch.
You know, Eric Crouch has a great future with this program. This is a team that next year is setting itself up for a chance to win the national championship. He's a sprinter. He told me he's going to try to run indoor track. He's that fast at Nebraska this spring.
Third down, close to a first down. I think he got it. And this ball game is over. You know, at this time, you have to say Nebraska is really as good as anybody in the country. As a matter of fact, they were so dominant. They appeared to be untouchable, but they were challenged only once after a 6-0 start. Then turnovers made them appear vulnerable. They lost to Texas, and then here they are again, just like they started. Very, very strong. Didn't get the first. Fourth down and very short. Less than one. Almost inches. Crouch got the first. And the clock down to 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Well, you know how some teams worry about whether they can pick up a fourth down when it's short? Was there any question about picking up a fourth down when you line up behind those guys?
Let me take you through them again. Jolch, 320 pounds. Sherman, 295. Raiola, 300. Holstein, 295. And Volk, 300 pounds.
Well, there's also a youngster out of Midwest City, Oklahoma, John Rutherford, who is number 66. He spends as much time in that lineup as do Jolch and Volk. He's the third tackle, and he can play, and he's also 300 pounds.
First down, Nebraska. The executive producer of ABC Sports, Howard Katz. Executive producer of the Fiesta Bowl, John Filippelli. Coordinating producer, Bobby Goodrich. The producer of tonight's game here in the truck, Bruce Clark. What a job he's done. The director, Patrick McManus. We thank him for the pictures. Technical director, John Zippe. Associate director, Russell Brooks. Associate producer, Derek Mobley. D-Mobs was out at the Rose Bowl yesterday. Yes, sir. Assistant to the producer, Chris Damiani, John Coral. Computer coordinator, Jason Shafico. Second down and long. They need about 6. Oh, my. They're just pushing ahead. He's got another first down. Willie Miller. Always want to thank our spotter, Mark Williams, our statistician, John Madry, and Mark Amento, today the Red Hat. All the folks that have made this telecast possible, we thank you for that. We'll be back with some final thoughts. We're down to the final 5 seconds. Nebraska is going to win it 31-21 over Tennessee. That's the final score. We'll be back with some more thoughts and our post-game report right after this.
Hi, I'm Chris Carter. I'd like to talk to you about a problem that can happen in your city, your community, to someone you love. The inability to tell the difference between a bid price and an ask price, a market order and a limit order. But thanks to programs like web shops, Schwab is making a difference. At Schwab branches across America, they'll teach you all about using the world's leading online broker. Pay attention. Just another way Schwab is helping to make smarter investors.
How do you look up a stock symbol again?
I talked to his secretary. He can't make it.
What do you mean he can't make it?
I mean, he can't make it.
Well, if he can't make it, then we got to reschedule the meeting. I mean, this whole project was his idea. If he sees the numbers from research, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I get physically sick looking at these numbers. Tom, could you hold on a second?
Looking for a good time?
Okay, Tom, about the meeting.
The Civic from Honda.
With the AT&T one-rate 7-cent plan, calls are just 7 cents a minute all day, every day.
What about Canada?
What?
Canada.
Yeah, same thing. With the international plan, it's 7 cents a minute always.
What about all the other countries in the world? Japan, Mexico, Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
All right. Every country has its own low rate.
What about France? France.
Same low rate as France.
Great. I'm going to go call France.
Which is right near France.
7 cents to Canada and great rates around the world. Call 1-800-4-1-RATE to enroll.
How do you like that? Touchdown! 30 years of making Monday night special. This week, San Francisco, Atlanta at 9/6 Pacific.
Nebraska fans continue to celebrate here at Sun Devil Stadium. The Cornhuskers win it by 10. Let's go downstairs. Here's Leslie with Frank Solich.
Tim, Coach Solich has been around for other bowl game wins, but as an assistant coach, this is your first bowl game win as a head coach. Describe what it feels like.
It's tremendous. It's really a great group of players we have and a great group of coaches. Our fans have been tremendous over the years, and to me, it's something special for this team to be able to fight back the way they did when things weren't going so good in the second half. They had the courage offensively to go on 2 drives of 90-some yards, which was tremendous.
We talked about strength and discipline before the game. Do you think that's what the team epitomized today?
I don't think there's any question about it. They've been tremendous on that end of it throughout the entire season. They've been a team that's been a very physical football team. They've believed in one another, and I think that all showed today.
This gives you your 21st win in your first 2 seasons. Is this something that this puts you 3rd all time for Division I coaches? Is that something that is important to you?
I think that's really great, but what's really important to me is what this team has accomplished this year, and I'll take that above anything.
Well, congratulations back to Tim.
Thank you.
All right, Leslie, what a class act he is, and we congratulate Coach Solich, finishing his 2nd year as head coach in Nebraska. 21-5 is his record, and we talked about him following the legend, Dr. Tom Osborne. The celebration continues here in the desert and will well into the night. We'll be back with some more final thoughts right after this.
11 blue-clad warriors stand on the brink of battle and ask themselves, where is the other team?
Reuben, on a Sunday afternoon.
Nothing helps you kick back at the end of the day like Tostitos chips and salsa.
I can't imagine it.
We do suggest to actually wait till the end of the day.
He's a fine dancer, too.
Dig in, kick back with new hint of roasted red pepper Tostitos.
Kumbaya.
Amazing things can happen when you push the right buttons. Introducing the 240 horsepower S2000 Roadster from Honda.
This is my invention. The silverware instrument. C'est les lunettes éclaireuses. You could slide them, but they don't slide by themselves. It worked. It worked. Headlights. It could change somebody's life. 24-hour sunburns. That is the greatest idea I've ever came up in my whole life.
Monday on 2020, an emotional tug of war. Adopted children searching for their birth mothers. Birth mothers who don't want to be found. 2020, Monday.
This is the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Well, those fans are right. It wasn't the Sugar Bowl. It certainly wasn't the national championship, but Nebraska feels it still has the best team in the country, and I would venture would take on either one of those teams right now, Florida State or Virginia Tech.
Well, if they played outside on the parking lot tomorrow, Florida State may be favored by 3 points, but I'd have trouble not taking the guys in red.
Last 23 Nebraska plays were on the ground. They ran out the last 7 minutes, 25 seconds after Tennessee had cut their lead to 10. We'll be back here at Sun Devil Stadium and get some final thoughts right after this.
At Nokia, we've discovered our phones are a lot like pets. They somehow seem to resemble their owners. Nokia. Connecting people.
There's no better time than now to get the good life at Sears. So don't miss out on the best time to buy. Get 0% financing on all Kenmore appliances over $399 till May 2000 when you use your Sears card. Like this Kenmore washer and dryer. You save $120 on the pair, and you get free delivery. Sears, the good life at a great price. Guaranteed. Sears is the proud sponsor of the BCS and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
Combat Rangers. They're rough, they're tough, they're battle-tested. They're lean, mean fighting machines. When there's a battle to be won, Combat Rangers get the job done. Making backyards safe for democracy.
Now, tell me why they're wearing dresses?
The commando uniforms didn't arrive from China.
That's because you picked the wrong shipping company. Next time, use the only U.S. Express shipper with direct routes from China, FedEx. Be absolutely sure.
Matching night vision tiara sold separately.
AT&T WorldNet service. Just click and go.
Well, the Cornhuskers of Nebraska put an exclamation point to their season with a 31-21 win over the Tennessee Volunteers here at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Don't forget Wild Card Saturday on ABC next week. Buffalo at Tennessee, Detroit at Washington. The Lions beat Washington during the regular season. Stephen Davis may be back for that one. Washington coming on strong. Once again, the final score, Nebraska 31, Tennessee 21. For Dean Blevins and Leslie Goodell, I'm Tim Brandt. Don't forget, Monday night, the San Francisco 49ers travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons on ABC's Monday Night Football. Then on Tuesday, #1 Florida State, #2 Virginia Tech duke it out for the national championship in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. All that on ABC. What a way to end the season, Monday Night Football. ABC Sports online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence. So long, everybody.
What an extraordinary performance.
Kansas State, Indianapolis 500.
Best final round ever.
Touchdown, touchdown.
Incredible.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.